See it. Well, I live in three different cameras, so I'm going to be looking here, here, and here all the time. So don't worry if I'm not looking at you all the time. Hello, welcome, how are you? I can't really see the exact names, but hello and welcome. And we're here on this second live today, and it's the last one. But I have prepared a really, really interesting surprise for all of you here. I just have to, I'm going to mention it at the end of live. This is going to be short and sweet. I've created a Q&A session because so many people in so many social medias have asked me different questions that I wanted to come here today and ask them all together. And if there's another one that you have that you want to ask now, if I see it, I'll answer it. If not, I'll prepare another live and I'll answer the question. So I just wanted to go through what I explained yesterday, which was position, like hand position, finger position, my introduction, of course, and the breathing technique that I explained that has helped me so much. Okay, so, oh my God, hello there. So first of all, I'm Yeli. My full name is Yelida, and I am a founder and creator of the Piano Studio Utopia. I'm so happy. And I am a mom, I'm a piano teacher, I'm a creative, and I'm an artist because I have another 2 degrees. I'm also a photographer, and I'm also a media and communicator. And I am delighted to be here today. I created this session because I get many private messages from different social medias asking me questions, as I said, and I decided to divide this session today in half, explaining again what I explained yesterday about like position, how to sit on the piano, what do you need to know before you actually, if you want to start learning by yourself or whatever. And I also decided to answer to all of those questions. Okay, so I'll recap about yesterday. I also taught a nice breathing technique that I've been using since I've been applying mindfulness in my lessons. So if you want me to teach you those techniques again, I can always come back and say them. So you just say it there in the comments, and I'll see them in any of the 3 devices that I have here. So I'm gonna go back to, actually, you know what? We're gonna do a different breathing technique today. We're gonna do it for 30 seconds, and we're gonna breathe in through our nose and breathe out through our nose. I just want to take all of you here and now, and I want us to connect. Hello. I want us to connect and be present for this short session. Okay. So the only thing you need to do is to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Okay. We're gonna do that 10 times. Okay. So I'll do the first one, and then you'll join me for the second and third, and so on. So first one, and then we'll go together. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and last one. That's it. We're finished. I hope that you're all here now with me. I'm just going to recap on what I mentioned yesterday. Right position to sit on the piano. It's like any other discipline that you practice. It has a specific position. So back very straight, and your height needs to be, it should allow you have your forearm very straight. Okay, so forearm straight. if you're lower than that, if your hand tends to be like this, then you might get a sore wrist. If you're higher, you're not going to be uncomfortable either. So the perfect position is to have your forearm completely straight, okay? And your finger numbers, I mentioned it yesterday, very simple, but it can be confusing. You can always confuse this with being 1 instead of 5. So this is 5 and this is 1, always. Okay, so if you see, if you're following, I don't know, like looking for music to learn it on your own, or if you have done music in the past, that can be confusing. Okay, so number 1 and number 5. Then the next thing that I wanted to mention, that yesterday I said, was the right position and how to place your hand on the piano. Always remember that if you don't apply the right position, you might be uncomfortable and it might put you off. You know, like if you start practicing something and then you can't do it and you feel that you can't do it, it might like make you stop doing it. You know, that's what happens. So if you have the right position, the right attitude, very important, and you know at least what you're following, then it will make your life much easier. Yesterday I spoke about playing scales. Scales are one of the main things and the first things that I introduce. They're really, really important because they develop that ability that you need to have in your fingers and like that you will need. Okay, it's like stretching before going for a run or something like that. So your scales are really important. And I'll explain quickly a very simple scale. How do you find your C? Remember, you go to the 2 bunny ears. And in order to find middle C, you need to go to the 2 bunny ears and count 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one is going to be your middle C. And if you're there with your correct hand position, the most simple scale, you can do it with your left. And if you do hands together, slowly, of course. You need to wait until you're completely in control. How do I know when I'm completely in control of something? When I can play it with my eyes closed. So if you can do that very short scale with your eyes closed, hands separate, then you're ready to put hands together and play faster. Okay? You have to be patient. Now I'll go with the Q&A session quite quickly. I have my questions here. Let me just open them here. I only see the Instagram comments. So if you're on any other social media, I'd suggest that you go to the Instagram live and post your questions there because I can't really see here. And the other phone is not facing me. So first question that I get, what is a good age to start learning? And the answer to that is it's always a good time to start. Okay, so it depends on what you're looking for. Obviously, if you're a mom that's looking for lessons for your son or your daughter, the earlier she starts, the better. Okay, but if you're an adult that always wanted to try music lessons, that always wanted to try that, the opportunity of playing the piano, it's always a good time. I have students that are over 55 years of age, and they love their lessons and they enjoy it like very much. So it's always a good time to learn something new. It's actually one of the things that I always promote, like to have that beginner's mind. That's something very important. Is it difficult to learn? It is not difficult to learn. It all depends on the teacher that you had. Okay, so your teacher is going to have a very it's going to affect dramatically your experience as a student. You could have teachers that are not very patient, and then you might think they are not good enough. You might have teachers that don't know how to explain and that they don't understand something themselves, and it might make you feel frustrated. But the truth is that it's not difficult to learn, because if I have done it and so many people have done it, then why you shouldn't do it? It's completely doable. The benefits. What are the benefits from learning piano? So the main benefits from learning, there's so many. but I summarized a few. So you have emotional benefits. The first, like it's a very important one, because like when you learn music, you need to interpret, and when you interpret music, you need to understand what's going on to be able to make people understand. So when you connect with music, you connect with your feelings and yourself, and it gives you a lot of power over your emotions, which is very important. It gives you motor benefits because you're thinking from you're using a side of the brain that it's still, been researched about. What happens when you play an instrument like the piano. It's been demonstrated that people that do music and piano are better at maths. You become a better communicator because you're learning a new language. Music is a completely new language, and the way I educate, it's that I make you read music as if you were reading any other language. And also, but not less important, is the performing side of things. Performance, the benefit that you have compared to another person that it's not used to perform is magical, and it's so special and important these days. We suddenly became a world of videos. And if you were comfortable performing, it's always going to be easier for you to perform at a video, perform at a meeting, or just improvise. So performing, it's one of the main benefits of playing an instrument, because you get used to that. Right. So another question was, I didn't take music lessons as a child. Is it going to be harder for me as an adult? And the answer is no, because you always have the opportunity to start something new. Obviously, you're not going to have the technical ability that a child that started when he was 5 years of age had, but you can always, like, I know I have one of my teacher friends. He's a guy that started learning piano when he was 15, and he completed all his grades after being developed. I also have, as I mentioned at the beginning, I also have senior students around the age of 50 in their 50s and 60s, and they are amazing, and they're doing their exams and their grades. So it's always a good time to learn, as long as you give yourself an opportunity. You need to collaborate. So the answer to that is that you don't have to have had music lessons in the past. You can actually start from scratch, not knowing anything at all, and learning the language. What's very important here is that you understand what you're doing. And what happens to a lot of people is that they go somewhere and they don't learn properly on how to read. And when they move along and they start passing grades or moving on to more difficult pieces, it puts them off that they don't know what they're doing. So it's very important that you know what to choose and that you actually understand, like, music literacy. That's extremely important. Do I need to practice every day? Depends on what you want to achieve. It's always going to be up to you. My students, if they're going to do an exam, they're going to be practicing every day building up to the exam. But that doesn't mean that at another time, you see, like this, have the summer off, they definitely don't practice. And my students that do it for fun, they don't need to practice every day. They just practice whenever they feel they want to practice. Okay, it's not a military academy learning an instrument. It has to be something that you enjoy and that you take with your own pace, and you do it the way you enjoy it. That's the main thing, that you enjoy what you're doing. Okay. And should I take piano lessons, and can I play? If I take piano lessons, can I play another instrument later? It's going to depend on whether your piano or your teacher teaches you how to read music. That is going to help you to play other instruments. If your piano teacher teaches you how to read music, then yes, you can go and apply that music and play other instruments. I teach that way, but not everyone teaches that way. So it depends on what you choose. So if you're looking for something that might help you to maybe change instruments in the future, make sure that your teacher teaches you how to read music. Okay, I've played the viola, I've played the piano, I've sung before and I sing, and I've played the drums in the past. So it's all about knowing how to read music. Anyway, guys, I'm really happy to have been here, and I have a surprise for you. I'm going to announce it in my stories, but I'd say to you, the ones that are here now, I created a mini session of 3 piano lessons that you can get directly in your email. I'll share the information in my stories, but if you're interested, send me a direct message or send me a private message or send me a private message in the other social media, and I'll send them to your email. It's a session of 3 free beginners piano lessons to see if piano is something that you might want to try, if piano is something that you're interested in, because why not? We need to try. So I will let you go. I'm going to play this piece again that a lot of people were asking me to teach it, actually, but in order for me to get to that step, I would have to do 20 live lessons. But if you want me to record a tutorial on how to play this piece, I will record it and send it to your email too. You just let me know, okay? So it was really, really good to see you, and I hope you enjoy this. I was actually reading there. I didn't even practice that. I was just reading it literally with you there. So I hope you really liked it. You soon, guys. Hi, Jessica. Let's see.